All right, what's up, guys? The Utah Jazz get a much needed win against a surprisingly good Detroit Pistons team. It's the Hoops Nerd Jazz postgame show. Let's talk about it. Before we get into it, let's talk about the Pistons, then we'll talk about the Jazz. If you're new here, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate the channel. The channel is growing. If you're a Jazz fan, why aren't you subscribed for reals? This is the best Jazz content out there in terms of podcasts, YouTube, whatever. You've got to subscribe to the channel. All right? Do it right now. Subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, join the channel. And let's find our new all-star. Are we going to find a new all-star tonight? We'll find out. Or are we going to get a rookie or a starter? We'll see. Let's find out. Guys, I went to the game tonight. It was fun. I got myself a jersey. It was really fun. It was Gray's junior jazz night, so we were able to go there, and it was fun. And guess what? I go to the game. It's the first game I've been to this year. The Jazz win. I do not think that's a coincidence. I think they really wanted to get one for me. I think they knew I was coming, and I appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie. I really appreciate it. All right, let's talk about the Pistons a little bit. I love Cade Cunningham. I love everything about Cade Cunningham. I talked about it last time the Jazz played the Pistons, and Cade Cunningham just destroyed Utah. Tonight, Cade had 25 points. He had 5 assists, 6 rebounds. And I was honestly scared of him. He made some big shots at the end of the game. He has that little thing that he was doing where he kind of comes off the pick and he pulls up in the mid-range, and he looks pretty good with that shot. And as he gets more consistent with his three-point shot, it's going to be great. He's fantastic, guys. And so I love Cade Cunningham. I think he's a foundational guy for them, and he's someone that you can build around for the future. He's fantastic. So like I said, 11-20 for 23 from the field is the main guy on a bad team. 1 for 4 from 3. And I really love Saddiq Bey. I think these two guys are going to be playing together for a long time. The 3 wasn't falling as much as I was in person watching, so I wasn't watching stats or anything. I'm actually surprised it didn't fall as much as it seemed it did. But Saddiq Bey is really good. Actually, I'm just kind of curious. Let's open up this tab and just look at his numbers for the year. I think he's up there in terms of rookies last year of three-point shooting. This year it looks like it's a tiny bit of a dip, but that's because people are guarding him more. It's not and that's more minutes, more usage. His points have gone up. Field goal attempts, he's up to 4 more a game. And that's going to happen. He's going to get better, though. We know he's a legit shooter from 3. It's great to see. So I loved Saddiq Bey in the draft. They got a great one in him. And then obviously this year with Cade Cunningham is fantastic. I think it's interesting. This is 2 times that the Jazz have played the Pistons without Jeremy Grant. And I think the Pistons are better without him. I am, let's see, Zintis, X marks the spot, my man. Rumor is the Jazz might get Jeremy Grant. I'm not in the camp of getting Jeremy Grant. I just don't know if he's a guy that you want. I mean, is he nice? Sure, but at the money he's getting paid, it's a lot. And the quotes from him is that he wants to be the focal point of the offense for a team. And guess what? The focal point for the offense of a team is what the Pistons did. That's how they got him from Detroit. And they promptly earned themselves a number 1 overall pick in Cade Cunningham. I think he's a good defender, and he's a good shooter. But sometimes I think the idea of Jeremy Grant is better than actually what Jeremy Grant is, if that makes sense. Makes me think of this girl I dated in college. The idea of dating her was like, oh, that would be really cool. She seems nice. All the things seem to be great. Won't that be awesome? And then you started dating, and she treats you mean, and you're sad all the time. And you realize, this isn't going to work out. And that's kind of how it's been with Jeremy Grant. If he's the focal point of your offense, that's rough, And I don't think it's a coincidence that, you put the ball in Cade's hands and let him be the guy, and all of a sudden they look like a better team. If I'm the Pistons, I'm almost a little worried because I think Cade's just getting so much better, game after game, that they're going to miss out on another top pick, and they need another top pick because they need another foundational guy to play with Cade, and then they're ready to go. You know, if you get like one of those top 3-4 guys in this draft, and then you have Cade and whoever that question mark star is, and then like Sadiq Bey, and you just start filling in the gaps with other good players, all of a sudden you've got a nice playoff team, and who knows, maybe more. If Cade takes things to another level, he can get there. So I don't know. If I'm a Pistons fan, I'm pretty happy about what I got. Let's talk about the Utah Jazz. They finally get a win. There was a few things I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm still in my... I don't wear this very often. I got this tonight. I needed a new jersey. Let's see. And I like how it looks. I'm sweating in my hoodie. All right, let's see. Rudy Gobert is dominant. He was questionable before the game, and we weren't sure if Rudy Gobert was going to play. And he did, and he was utterly amazing. 24 points, 14 rebounds. He had some just incredible plays at the end to help solidify the win. The Jazz played some defense tonight that I don't think I've seen them play for like 3 or 4 weeks, or maybe all season. I mean, they really wanted this win. Being in the stands, you could just feel the crowd wanted it, and you could feel the Jazz wanted it. Rudy wanted it. That play at the end, he had multiple contests at the end were just awesome, where he was like moving. Playoff level effort from Rudy to get this win tonight, and it was nice to see. 4 blocks, by the way. Let's watch them just for fun. But never, ever, ever stop appreciating Rudy Gobert. Okay, so he gets the deflection. Was that a block? I guess that counted as a block. Looked like a strip, but hey, I guess he was in the shooting form, so we'll take it. Right here, recovery. Nice. Block Stewart. That was great. Oh, and then Mike got the foul. But great block by Rudy. Right here, look at how Rudy moves, and then he blocks that. That was so great. That is why Rudy is so special. I guess we're going to... And then he gets the bucket on the other end. Boom. Hey, thanks, Advanced Stats, for letting us see the bucket. All right, here we just see Rudy. Look at how he goes out to the perimeter. Everyone will say, oh, he can't go out on the perimeter, and he just blocked a 3-point shot. So don't listen to the Nationals because they don't watch the Jazz play basketball, right? They just don't. Let's see. So anyways, we just got to give props to Rudy. I actually, Joe Ingles, the second half, looked like he just existed, like as a person on the floor. In the first half, I thought he was really good. These 5 assists, a lot of these were in the first half, and these were to Rudy, and these were actually really great. He was getting Rudy the ball. It's just, this stuff is just crazy. I just don't know why this keeps happening. He's got to keep shooting it. He'll get out of it eventually. But it's crazy that he just can't shoot anymore. It's wild. And it was so wild to me that Quinn put him at the end of the game. With like 2.5 minutes left, Quinn's like, I know what we need. A guy that can't get a stop and can't shoot the ball. Let's get him on the floor. And Joe promptly came in and missed 2 threes. Luckily, the Jazz played really good defense at the end. That was bonkers to me. The other guy I just wanted to talk about, Bojan Bogdanovic has turned into such a weapon. Last game, he was terrible. And it's a big reason why the Jazz lost to the Lakers, honestly. It was really sad. Or the Rockets. By the way, I didn't do a Rockets thing because it was my dad's birthday. So apologies to everyone. But I just took the night off. It was a scheduled rest. I had ankle soreness, and I had to miss the show last night. But anyways, 23 points for Bojan Bogdanovic. 2 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 for 6 from 3, which was great. He's getting to the line. And this 7 for 15 from the field is nice. This is the thing that we should be a little excited about. Let's just watch it for a second. Well, I guess this will show the threes, but Bogdanovic's ability to get these shots in the mid-range like this is what's exciting for the playoffs, when he can do stuff like that. Because if he can be like your second or third option, and he can take advantage of those low-level defenders that might be on him in the playoffs, and also small ball, that's the thing that'll do it. And then when he's hitting the 3 like that, it's fantastic. So let's just keep watching. So we saw mid-range, we saw the 3. Here we go with the 3. Very nice, Bojan. Here we go in transition. One thing that's really great about Bojan is his ability to use his size because he's a legitimately big guy, 6'8". So it's nice to see. Here we go again. That was a big play right there, actually. Him getting the offensive rebound and the putback. That's just great stuff. Good effort and efficiency. Honestly, Bojan's had 6 weeks of just fantastic play. There you go. That was like, that shot was so rhythm, and they called a timeout for that because you just let Bojan Bogdanovic shoot in rhythm. You can't do that. Here we go in the pick and roll, and he just takes that little mid-ranger. That's the shot right there. That shot is what makes you excited for the playoffs, is because he can take advantage of smaller defenders. Although that was against Cade, and Cade's been showing that his defense that we all thought would be good in that we all thought would be good in the NBA has actually translated. And so that's just big time stuff from Bogdanovic. The last thing I wanted to talk, Quinn Snyder finally played Eric Paschall. And look at this, plus 19. You think it worked, Quinn? I don't know how many Jazz fans have to tell Quinn, like, what are you doing? And ask him why this guy is not playing. Because all he does is help you win games. That's all he does. Plus, oh, that was Forrest. Forrest had a nice game, by the way. Eric Paschall, 15 points. So one of the lineups I noticed that I really liked is they had one, and it's no coincidence, that plus 16 for Royce O'Neal, Eric Paschall plus 15, Trent Forrest plus 19, and then Jordan Clarkson, who had a really great offensive night. Why do I like this? Because, look, you have Trent Forrest on the floor, positive defender. Eric Paschall on the floor, positive defender. And then Royce O'Neal as well, positive defender. I know Royce's defense this year has been not good enough, but he's at least average at worst, right? And so when you have these three guys and they can all switch, you get stops. And guess what defense does? Defense creates positive plus minuses, almost always. There is a reason why Rudy Gobert is all okay. Not tonight. We won't use that example. But 9 times out of 10, when you have a really great defensive lineup that can get ways to score, it's great. And this was a fun lineup because you have Royce and Paschall and Forrest defending, and then you had Jordan Clarkson just being Jordan Clarkson and scoring. It's a lineup I'd like to see more, especially if you have Rudy Gay on the floor as well. Rudy Gay and Paschall together. Sorry, guys, it's late. Sorry. This is a fun little duo as well, like with Rudy Gay on the floor playing as that backup center that can stretch the floor. It gives Jordan Clarkson the ability to, like, find space, and I don't really think that that's a coincidence. When you have these guys defending, Jordan Clarkson can cook. Yeah. Rudy Gobert was actually incredible tonight. He really was. This is one of those where the plus minus doesn't show everything. Joe Ingles minus 11. That's because Joe is just making me sad. Minus 9 for Mike Conley as well. That's kind of shocking a little bit. 1 for 7 from 3. He had 19 points. This is something that I'm starting to worry about a little bit. This is giving me PTSD from the bubble in Game 7 against Denver when Mike went like 2 for 13. It makes me wonder if the Jazz need to maybe think about some things. And I know this is Mike Conley taking on the main playmaking responsibilities, but it's a little worrisome, you know, because this is the Pistons, right? This should be better. He still had a nice night, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. But it's just bizarre to me that this, I don't know. I think a lot of it is just being on the floor with Joe Ingles, who can't guard anything. I don't understand why Quinn put him in at the end of the game, to be just completely honest. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. All right, should we just go there? I think Quinn plays Joe Ingles for politics. I think Quinn's trying to prove a point, and he's wrong. And it's just, he keeps digging a hole. Because we had the report, and we talked about this last time, I think. We had the report that came out from Tim McMahon that there was a trade that included Joe Ingles, and it probably meant Kyle Kuzma. Sadly for Jazz fans, don't cry, but Kyle Kuzma looks like the best player on the Wizards right now and is having just an absolute breakout season. Probably most improved player award coming for Kyle Kuzma. Would have been nice to have him on the Jazz, and he's playing high-level defense. Like, he's playing good defense and efficiency on offense. I didn't see this coming at all. I don't think anyone did. But the Jazz could have had that. And like what Tim McMahon said is that Quinn put the kibosh on the trade, and it's gone nothing but bad. It's gone terribly. And Quinn keeps putting him out there, and even with the game on the line, 2.5 minutes left, he puts out Joe Ingles, and Joe Ingles just does this. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so I just don't think Quinn's out there playing the guys that give you the best chance to win, because no one on God's green earth who watches this team thinks that having Joe Ingles in more than someone like Eric Paschall, especially on the bench, helps you win. You know? Having Eric Paschall on the floor helps you win. It just does. He plays defense. On offense, he's showed that he can be a very efficient offensive player, and a very good offensive player. Not just efficient, but like a guy that can come in and have nights where he puts in like 15 points. Tonight, he was more a defensive guy, and that's fine. 8 points, but he was, let's see. Oh, that's Trent Forrest. Paschall had 3 points tonight, but he hit his only 3 he took, and he was a plus 15. Let's just give credit to Trent Forrest. He was really good tonight. 3 for 4. He had 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 8 points, and just played good defense. I mean, that was great. Cook it up, ZZ, 799. James, should the Jazz trade for Marcus Smart, and how much of an impact would he make? 100% yes. All right, let's talk about it. I think, who's that guy? I think he has a YouTube channel, Tim Monty Mayor or something like that. He is like either getting intel somehow, or he is like making stuff up. But the thing he tweeted, and we'll just talk about it because it's interesting, not because it's like, could be real, could be not, who knows, likely not. But what he tweeted is that the Jazz were looking to make a trade for Marcus Smart that included trade capital. Well, if you're going to get Marcus Smart and you're getting trade capital, like, you know, the salaries have to match, and I think someone like Jordan Clarkson could match Marcus Smart, but the Celtics aren't giving the Jazz trade capital for, you know, Jordan Clarkson. That would be like you are your guy for my guy. Who would they be trading that the Celtics would be interested in and that they'd need to give us trade, like draft capital for? Mike Conley, right? That's the only thing that makes sense to me, is if you're trading for Marcus Smart for someone that Celtics actually want, then it's Mike Conley, because the Celtics are desperate for a point guard, like desperate, guys. They are desperate. And when I see a report like that, and I don't know if that's true or not, like, do I think that the Jazz are talking with the Celtics? Yes. That's what's interesting about it. It's like, guess what? I could make up a rumor. I'm a smart enough guy. I could go out there and say, sources say the Jazz are interested in finding and trading for, Larry Nance. And you could just say that, and then you can just pretend, could be real, could be not. Who knows? But anyways, that's the only thing that made sense to me, is that if that's true, the thing that makes sense is Mike Conley, but you would need trade capital. Like, you would need 2 or 3 first-round picks, right? Probably 2. Because that's basically what the Jazz did. They gave Grayson Allen, it was a first-round pick and a young player, and they gave that first-round pick to Memphis for Mike Conley. And they gave 2 nice players, actually. Jay Crowder and Ricky Rubio are solid rotation NBA players. And so that's what you're looking at. If you're looking at 2 first-round picks at least, and Marcus Smart for Mike Conley. And maybe you give them Jordan Clarkson as well, which opens things up for someone else. But what I thought was interesting, and people might say, well, why would you trade Mike Conley? He's really, really good. I agree. But at the same time, I don't know if the Jazz can win with Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell, at least as this team's constructed, and go all the way. Robert Hall, 199. Everyone agrees with you, Jimmy. Q is stubborn. Yes, he is. He is. There's just no doubt about it. Like, he just It's stupid. Like, it's just dumb. It's really stupid. Like, at a certain point, it's just really, really dumb, and you're keeping the team from winning. Like, if Eric Pascal plays against the Rockets, he did not play, I don't believe. And they lost. Like, that costs you wins, and it cost us that game. And Quinn deserves heat. Uh, but anyways, he plays tonight, and guess what? The Jazz won. So there you go. Uh, let's see. But anyways, all I'm saying is that this Jazz team, as constructed, have they gone any farther than they did with the Ricky Rubio, Jay Crowder, Derek Favors teams? They've gone the same distance, right? They haven't been any better. When it comes down to just results, they haven't. I wonder if, like, you combine the defense of Marcus Smart with Donovan Mitchell, and then you have Bojan Bogdanovic and Royce O'Neal in them, or whoever, or maybe you keep Clarkson and you do like Conley and I don't know, something like that, and you go get some guys from the Celtics, and then you have draft capital, and then guess what? You have draft picks that you can actually either use or trade to like get something else, right? Because the Jazz don't have any picks to use. This is me just being devil's advocate, by the way, guys. I don't know if the Jazz do that, but I do think it's interesting. I honestly I could go either way with that because I just don't know if Mike Conley's going to be any better. If like at this point, I think this is the best you're going to get, and the Jazz can't win games. They really are struggling. So I don't know if they had an elite point of attack defender like Marcus Smart can be. I don't know. They might be actually better. It might be best of both worlds. But yeah, so either way. DW, without injuries, we would have gotten at least a round further past 2 seasons easy. Got to stay healthy and we will be fine. True. But injuries are part of it. And one thing is Mike Conley does have an injury history, and it just happened again last year. And I'll be honest, like Mike Conley was healthy against Denver in the bubble. He was 100% healthy. Donovan Mitchell, 100% healthy. Rudy Gobert, 100% healthy. That trio was good. Yes, the Jazz didn't have Bojan Bogdanovic, but Donovan Mitchell was out of his mind. Out of his mind offensively, if you remember that series. Just scoring at just an insane clip. And they couldn't win. Like every year we talk about this player injured, that player injured. Sometimes it is luck, like to have everyone healthy, but a lot of teams go into the playoffs and they don't have all their guys. And if you have all your guys and you stay healthy, then you have a really good shot. But it's not always common. It's pretty rare. And so I don't know. But it's just something interesting. It's just an interesting thought. I don't know how we got into that. But anyways, I think we've kind of covered everything. Eric Pascal needs to play more because he's a nice player. And I'm not saying he should be the starter, but 15 minutes seems very good. Joe Ingles playing 32 and was a minus 11 and just really struggled. And it's just tough to watch. It also shows this game why Donovan Mitchell is so important. Donovan Mitchell is the thing that makes this offense go. He is the thing that bends the defense. He initiates everything. He is the most athletic player on the team. He is the guy that he is the force that creates that impact that opens things up for other guys. I believe in Donovan Mitchell. That's why sometimes, and here's just another thought, and this is what I've just talked to some people that are my friends or SLC Dunk Chat and stuff like that. Just my personal feeling. At some point, the Jazz just need to believe in Donovan Mitchell. I believe in Donovan Mitchell. I believe Donovan Mitchell is that guy. When he's healthy and he is playing at a high level, Donovan Mitchell to me is that guy. And I think that he can be the main focal point. I think that when you have Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley on the floor together, you are immediately at a defensive disadvantage with 2 6-foot-ish guys, right? Immediately you're at a disadvantage on defense. Immediately. Just no questions asked. And they play hard. Mike Conley can play great defense. He played really hard, really great defense against John Morant and got injured because of it, And Donovan Mitchell was injured last year too, so they had double injuries. It sucked. Last year sucked. But regardless, and I think we've seen this very clearly this year, the Jazz are just at a disadvantage immediately when they both are on the floor, just because the defense is not there. And then you're relying very much on Royce O'Neal, who's taken a step back defensively this year, and Bojan Bogdanovic, who I actually felt like he played really good defense tonight, and I actually feel like he's trying really hard, but I think at typically an average defender. He's not a high-level defender. I would say Bojan is an average defender that can get beat by certain players and actually can do okay against others. And that's your perimeter defense, and it's been not good. It's been super, super bad. So that's why I think, you know what, if you can get 2-3 picks for Conley and bring in Marcus Smart, and all of a sudden you've got an elite guy, and you have like Royce and Marcus Smart switching, and maybe you can trade Joe Ingles for something, his expiring. I don't know. The other guy I really like is Eric Gordon. If you can find a way to get Eric Gordon, who is having a fantastic year. We saw him on Houston kick our butts. And I don't know if it was on here or on Twitter, but people were saying, oh, Eric Gordon, not very good. Blah, blah, blah. Well, he kicked our butts. He kicked our blue and yellow butts all over the floor, and it was hard to watch. I like Eric Gordon, and he's a proven playoff player too. And he plays high-level perimeter defense, and he scores an efficient clip, and he actually play makes a little bit. So he's a guy I would not be sad to see on the Jazz as well. Probably a better player than Marcus Smart, honestly. So that's all I got to say tonight, guys. It was fun to be at the game. My boy had a lot of fun. He's having a great year in junior Jazz, which is fun to see, and this was really fun. All right, let's give a shout out to the All-Stars. These are the guys that make it happen. These are the Donovan Mitchells, the Rudy Goberts, and the Mike Conleys as well. Let's give a shout out. The Price is Right with Tyson Price. Baby Elliott Matson. X marks the spot with Zintas. Jordan the GOAT Besserell. Ryan Perry the Legend. Joshua Hansen the Danish Destroyer. And one Anton Warren. Ezekiel Ricibe the man from down under. JT Buckets Wardell. Austin R. Grant Editor Extraordinaire. Eric C. The C stands for Champion. Donald Schooley schooling all of us. DW to CB. Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer. Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de abajo, Lee Christensen driving the lane, Patrick Kubo, the connoisseur, Robert Hall of Fame, and DW, Jazz going all the way. DW does not believe in trading Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson. And tonight, they were really good. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like the Jazz have some redundancies, and I think they have too many of a specific type of player. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to like Cleaning the Glass and some of these other sites. I can't remember if it's Basketball Prospectus. I can't remember. But one of them, I think it's Prospectus. And I could be completely off. I don't know. Who cares? I'm tired. But they have different names for positions rather than like point guard, power forward, center. They call players like, or they have names for players like slasher, rebounding big, scoring guard, stuff like that. And it's actually pretty interesting. I feel like the Jazz have too many of the same, like scoring wing, scoring guard. Like the Jazz need like a defensive guard is kind of what the Jazz need, in my opinion. They need someone that can go out there that can guard Cade Cunningham, that can go out there and guard Jalen Green. Or, you know, if you're playing against Eric Gordon and he's having a nice night, if you have Marcus Smart and you can have him go guard him, great. Just to slow him down. Because we've seen so many times the Jazz have so many teams just having career highs, and they need something. A trade is coming for sure. You can just count on it. It's just a matter of when, not if, right? Anyways, guys, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for everyone who's here watching. I appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, just join the channel below. I think there's a button like right here. One of these. Click it. Do it. Join. Or upgrade. I would appreciate it very much. It was nice to see the Jazz win, guys. I haven't seen them. We haven't seen them win like this in a while. To get a nice some defensive stops at the end, it was a good thing to see. So anyways, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you next time.